my name is Connor Wright, and I go to the North Fort Worth campus. So I was raised in a Christian home. I was raised in a home where we went to church every Sunday, every Wednesday. It was kind of just something we always did. And for a while, church wasn't really somewhere I loved going, but it was somewhere there were people. My story kind of changed and picked up around when I was about 13, 14. And around that time, I got into hanging out with just the wrong people, got into alcohol and drugs just at a really young age. And so it got to a point where that was where I was at. I would go to church, I didn't like it, couldn't stand it. I was living this life that was totally backwards of what I knew I should be living. I remember walking into church on a Wednesday night, and I walked up to one of my youth group leaders, and I didn't know what I was gonna say. I just knew I had to say something. I knew something had to happen, something had to change. And I just started talking, I just started letting it go about where I had been, how my life had turned, and the direction I was headed. And I really expected, as I said those things, to just get condemnation. But what I got was the opposite. What I got was just this outreach of love, of, hey, I understand. I've been where you are. It's gonna be okay. It sparked something in me to where I remember that night I went home and I just cried in my bed, realizing, you know, this wasn't the person I needed to be. This wasn't following Christ. I wasn't doing what I knew I should be. And it wasn't an instant thing. It wasn't something that, you know, the next day I woke up pure and holy, but it was a progress. And something really big that's helped me in my walk, that's helped me to follow Christ and follow His will, has been serving. I remember only a couple weeks after that night, after I decided to start following Christ, I got a call asking me to actually play guitar. And guitar was something I played. I never really thought about, you know, playing in a church. And it turned out to be the best thing it could have ever been for me. So I remember my first time walking into Fellowship of the Parks, actually. It was on a Saturday night. And I just felt this overwhelming sense of like home. I just felt this sense of, man, this is where I belong. These are the people I'm supposed to be around, the people I'm supposed to be with. And I remember being greeted, hey, what's your name? What's your story? You're welcome here. And from that day, I really just had this burden in my heart. This is where I needed to be. And so flash forward about a year from then, and now I'm always serving. I get to serve with the media team. And every week I get to serve Sundays and Saturdays, just doing what I do, doing what I can to serve the Lord with my gifts. Just be honest with yourself, be honest with the people around you. There's people here who care about you. And then I would say if you're not serving, start serving. That's really been the biggest thing for me that just keeps me following and constantly pursuing God, is choosing to put my time and my efforts into His kingdom.